Did you see that post on Salam Central?
Which one?
It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
Or there's two jokes.
Oh my god.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Cousin
Connection
Podcast. Oh my god, we finally got it right after like how long?
I know. Do I sound like this? Do I sound stuffed too?
A little bit.
Oh shoot,
That's why
that's
I said
not
crack
good.
the window open.
This is gonna just be more cold in the room. Nah.
You cold?
Yeah.
That's a
No.
first?
No, I do get cold. What are you talking about?
That's a first.
No.
I've never heard you say, "Oh, I'm so cold," except for
Oh.
that one day
When?
when we were outside of Hassan Phil's show,
Yeah.
and it was like like a
Oh
literal
yeah,
blizzard.
but that's because my feet were cold, and like all the heat goes through the feet or whatever like that. I mean, escapes through the feet. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, you never knew about that.
No, I
That's why that's why in hot days, if you stick your foot out of the bed, like you feel a lot better. It's because all the heat is escaping through your feet.
I always wanted to be that type of person, but I was scared of monsters
What?
grabbing your feet.
Well, you never like stuck out that one toe or one foot out of the bed.
I would
like, out of
want
the
to,
sheets?
but it wouldn't last very long because I'd be too like
What?
nervous.
Nah, there are times where I've slept just on top of the sheets, like no sheets, no nothing.
That's psychopath behavior.
Nah.
I have never done that
What?
unless I was like not planning to sleep and I
Yeah.
fell asleep.
Mm.
But I would never go to sleep on top of my. Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
I've done that. Like not even taking out the pillows. Like the pillows are still under the sheets,
Why would you do
and
that?
I just sleep on top of it
Like purposely?
purposely because it's just so hot. And you know how like they are with the AC.
Yeah. They wait until it's like 35 degrees and they're like, okay, now
Yeah.
we can turn it on, but it has to be at like 24. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you mean the heater?
Even our work is like that now, where like our heater broke.
Oh, shoot.
But like because it's like near the end of winter, it's basically spring now. No, is it spring? Officially?
Yeah.
think so.
Technically as of March 21st.
Yeah. So like because of that, they're like, it's gonna cost a lot for a new heater.
What?
So we're just gonna thug it out for the next couple months as it's a little bit chillier until it warms up, and then like near the end of the year when it starts to get cold again, then we'll replace it because like apparently it's supposed to be a huge thing. But yeah, so now we've been like just thugging it out in the cold. Like everybody's like fighting over heaters.
Oh, like space heaters?
Yeah,
You guys have those?
yeah, like those little ones that you put like next to your feet. That fan that has the fan on it.
I wish I had that at work. It is so cold.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big building, so I feel like they need to regulate the temperature.
Yeah,
But there's a vent like really close to where I sit,
yeah.
and I have to sit with like I literally feel like our moms with a big
Mhm.
shawl. But sometimes it's so cold that like as I'm typing, like my fingers, when you
They
type
start
slower,
to get slower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. It sucks, but I'm
Yeah.
excited for summer. Like the sun, like the drive today,
Mm-hmm.
I was hot. I opened my windows and it was 9 degrees
Yeah.
Celsius.
And you know that's bad when you're like excited about 9 degrees.
Actually, did you check the weather this week? It's gonna
Oh
be like
yeah, I
20
saw
something,
that. Yeah.
like Wednesday onwards. So it's gonna be great weather.
Mm-hmm.
Inshallah.
My walks will finally. I won't have to
I'm
freeze
so
my fingers in my walks.
excited for walking again.
Especially when you're trying to read and walk. Like I had to pause my reading for the winter.
Why don't you just listen to audiobooks?
No, I did that.
Oh,
Like physically reading. You know how I was like physically reading book? Yeah. So I had to pause that.
don't walk and read. What if you
No,
got hit?
I've been doing it for 2 years now. I'm basically a pro. Okay.
I don't know. Do you actually like retain the information though? Not
Yeah.
retain it, but like, do you absorb it?
Yeah. Cause like I'm like 90% focused on the reading and like 10% focused on walking.
So you're multitasking.
What?
You're multitasking.
Not really. I'm just changing. It requires so little effort for that I only have to check maybe once every 30 seconds instead of checking like every second.
It's because he's a guy. Guys don't have to be aware of their surroundings the way that we do.
What?
Yeah. It's,
Okay, maybe like that, but like even out in the open, not really. But then again, the places I walk are kind of sketchy.
yeah, you walk through like alleyways, don't you?
Yeah, like not alleyways, but I walk through like industrial districts with like nobody around.
In this area?
Yeah,
Where?
like near the storage area. Yeah, you probably haven't seen it because you're a woman. You don't have to walk through those places.
But
It's
why
the
would
same
you
place
walk
where
there?
I meet that cat every day. Where I used to meet that cat every day. I miss that cat.
Whatever happened to it? Oh, it's winter.
I don't know. I think it's winter. It's been sticking inside for a bit. I saw it randomly one day, but then because I haven't walked that route in so long,
I forgot about you.
No, because it's just like I haven't walked that route in so long because of the cold.
Yeah.
Because that's a longer walk, and now I just take shorter walks, and I just do a little bit more at the gym. But yeah, I'm excited to see that cat again.
You should just get one or buy like a small pack of treats and just keep it in your pocket. Then that cat will love you.
Yeah, I feel like that cat at this point is like kind of frustrated because I always pull up. He or she always thinks that I have something in hand, and I start petting
Playing
the
games.
cat, and then there's like, you ain't got nothing. It starts walking away.
I'm telling you, do the treat trick.
Yeah, you know, I might have to invest in that real quick. Okay, but I gotta blow my nose again. Sorry, guys. This is gonna be a
Amir,
I don't know. I'm getting worse now as we're talking. Okay.
We just gotta cut this part out. We're not keeping that in.
I'm keeping that in.
No, that's so gross. I heard like the feet.
You know why? Okay. Anyone else who does, because it's getting near like spring and like allergy season. I do have allergies, so I feel like that's also a part of it. Like I feel like anyone who has like seasonal allergies, there's always that couple months in between in like the transition where you wake up every morning just congested.
That sucks.
Yeah, and because we're recording this earlier than normal, like we're recording this in the morning for once.
I mean, it's
sort of the morning. It's like midday now, but like we're recording it multiple hours before we normally do.
Yeah.
So usually by that point, I've already like went to the gym. I've it's kind of run through my body at that point. So I don't
every
even feel
morning you wake up like this.
A lot of times around this time of the year, yeah.
Do you take anything for it?
No, because it goes away after a couple of hours. Like by the end of the day, if you see me, like I'm gonna be fine.
That is so annoying.
I know.
Like, just I don't have allergies, alhamdulillah. But like, when I'm sick, I'm like, it's such a burden. I'm like, this is so annoying.
No, but like, it's just a little bit congestion. It's not like I have a sore throat. It's not like I have like a headache or anything like that. It's literally just congestion. So I just have to make sure I have like a tissue box next to me. Do
you have watery eyes too?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's just like you just have to blow your nose.
Yeah, just maybe sometimes I have watery eyes, but like
if you're outside.
Yeah, exactly. Like usually after I go on my walk, it like runs through me and then I'm good.
Oh, so you're fine outside?
Sort of. No. Outside, I still need to have a tissue with me the whole time. I'm walking with a tissue. Yeah, there's a couple times. Oh my God. This is going to be gross, trigger warning. But like, you know how in COVID we had to have our masks on? Like I'll be walking around and because I had my mask on, it like incubated the area and it caused my nose to like run a lot more. So if and there's one day where I forgot my tissue box. And
that's what you did, isn't it?
I didn't do that, but like it just started collecting. So like by the end of the walk, because I didn't have any tissues, I did not move that mask a bit. Like probably whoever saw me could probably see a little bit like wetness coming through.
Stop it. Stop.
I had to wash that mask immediately. The whole
it was
inside,
a cloth one?
Yeah. The whole inside was like just white.
Why didn't you just double
dried
up?
Up snot.
Amir?
I know. It was bad.
Why didn't you just double up or put like a layer of tissue on the inside of the mask?
No, I forgot my tissues. Normally I'd have my tissues with me, right?
Okay.
But like, yeah, that's also another thing. Like when you have allergies, the biggest heartbreak is forgetting your tissues or like any type of thing to blow your nose with or wipe it away because you're done for the rest of the day. Like until you find another tissue box, like you're gonna be hiding your face from everyone. You're gonna be
I'm surprised you don't carry those like. You know what? Now that I think about it,
what?
Your mom is the one person that I can rely on. She always has tissues. Yeah,
because she's the one who gave me these allergies.
Oh yeah, true. That's true. But I know for a fact if I need tissues, like I can go to your mom.
Yeah,
she's ready.
I haven't learned from her.
Yeah, why don't you have the little like the travel?
Sometimes I like to live life on the edge.
Clearly, my heart goes out to all of you guys who have allergies. May Allah help you because that's tough.
Yeah, I think even Aisha hasn't. I can't remember if she does do.
Yeah,
I feel like our whole family has it, except for my dad, maybe.
She does have allergies. She's always congested. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we both have the same thing.
Yeah. That sucks. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I feel like that's usually what we say at the end, but we have some exciting news. So by the time you guys are watching this, we are within the last 10 days of Ramadan. And before we get into that topic, we actually wanted to say, so last week, as you know, we hit our 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I'm going to look so dead for this.
Your eyes are like high-key swollen. And so, as promised, we wanted to do a giveaway to celebrate the fact that we've hit our milestone of 3,000 subscribers. Inshallah, as we continue to reach more milestones, we will do bigger and better giveaways. But this is kind of like our first one, and it's kind of just like a thank you to all of you guys who watch and support us every week. We really appreciate you guys and your support. And so I kind of just wanted to like run through the details of the giveaway. I will also make a post on Instagram saying the same thing, so you guys can reference that as well. And then the details will also be in our description box below. I just have to read it, but hold on. Oh, wrong page. Okay, so this is a $200 giveaway. I feel like you have to do the sound. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Now you're making my nose run. Can I have a tissue too?
Why?
Just in case. So
don't let them see the tissue.
So the rules of the giveaway is that you have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, obvi. Okay. Follow us on Instagram, Cousin Connection Pod. And then you're also going to leave a comment on this video, episode 90. You're going to leave a comment telling us how you found our YouTube channel or our page or our TikTok or our Reels, whatever, how you found us, how you got to know about us. And then also we ask that you leave your Instagram username on the comment so we can reach out to you if you win. And the good news is this giveaway is open worldwide. Yeah. So even if you live, I don't want to say the middle of nowhere, but if you live outside of North America, this giveaway is open to you as well. So apply. One comment only. You don't have to comment multiple times. And then the giveaway is actually going to close next Thursday, April the 20th. So you have a week from today to leave your comment below, and we will be checking if you're subscribed and if you are following us on Instagram. So good luck. May the best of you win, and inshallah, many more to come. And thank you guys so much. Now, on to this week's episode. This week, for our Ramadan series, I felt like it was very appropriate to discuss the last 10 nights of Ramadan. There's a lot of emphasis on this, and I kind of just wanted to talk about, what to do, the different practices, what it means for those that are celebrating Ramadan. And yeah, so let's get into it. So as you guys know, in general, during the month of Ramadan, our rewards are multiplied. I believe I should have wrote this down.
Isn't it like 70 times?
Is it 70?
We don't get into the numbers like that. Just remember that it's multiplied. Allah knows.
Yeah, Allah knows best.
Exactly.
It's multiplied to, whatever Allah wills for it to be multiplied by. That's such a great, not a cop-out, but it's a great answer. Anyways.
Because it's the right answer. Okay.
So, as we know, because our rewards are multiplied, a lot of people are more motivated to, do as much as they can in terms of more rewardable actions, doing good deeds, because they're trying to maximize their rewards. In the last 10 nights, however, as we know, Laylatul Qadr, which is the best night out of the year, can fall between, it can fall anywhere in the month, but it's most likely
in the last
10 days. So, Muslims usually, I feel like they put it into overdrive. Yeah. They really try to catch it, right? Because they're trying to get the most amount of rewards.
Yeah, it's like an XP boost. What? Right, you don't know what an XP boost is, Sarah? Come on now.
I don't know what that is.
Like experience boost, like in games, how they have 2-time multipliers and all that stuff.
Do I play games? Is it like?
But I feel like at this point it's like common vernacular. No.
No.
What?
No.
You're common? Maybe a unique case.
You should have related it to when you're playing Mario Kart and you drive over those smooth rainbow looking things and it boosts you. Oops.
Oh shoot! Yeah, like the star, right?
Is that?
Yeah, when you take the star, it does that.
Yeah, and then it's yeah, that thing. It's like that. Think of that for your
rewards. Maybe. Yeah, I get. Okay, XP boost I feel like's better, but okay, you know what? I'll chat it. Okay, whatever.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I actually learned about this when I was in Ethiopia 6 years ago.
Oh, I thought
I
you were gonna
was
say the last one we went to. Okay.
no, because we weren't there in Ramadan.
Oh yeah.
When I was there, I fasted the whole month of Ramadan there in Ethiopia, and it's so the vibe is so different when you get to fast in Ethiopia. Is not a Muslim country, but there's a large Muslim population where there are mosques that can openly make adhan, and it's like walking distance and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I learned that some people like it's usually like the youth from the guys. I don't know if women do this. I don't think so, but
Was
mostly
this in
men.
Harar or Dirdawa?
I mean, it happens all over, but
Okay.
I was in Dereto at this time. But I realized that, and some of our cousins did this, but they seclude themselves in the last 10 days so that they can really focus on their acts of worship. And so some of them seclude themselves at home, but a lot of them actually seclude themselves in like a faraway mosque. Like they'll go there and they'll sleep the 10 days.
Yeah.
The last 10 days they'll be there. And so then they spend, their nights praying a lot, making dhikr, dua, reading Quran, like just all of the praiseworthy actions and rewardable actions. And I thought that was like so interesting. And so like I was like, wow, that's a great, like you're really finishing off strong. And then, I was kind of just thinking as I was making these points for today, I was thinking about like where I'm at and how I would bring that over to our life here. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if any mosques here are 24 hours or if you could even stay there. But, they say that like it's said that for women, it's better that they pray in their own home rather than to go out. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, like in living in the West, I feel like Ramadan is such a different. We've spoken about this before, but it's such a different vibe than if you were to fast in a Muslim country. So, we're working and some of us are going to school and some of us are parents, and you have to like, your attention is not fully devoted to fasting and doing your acts of worship. You're being pulled in other directions too. And so I think, for those of us that feel like, oh, I didn't really get to maximize my time during Ramadan. Like I didn't feel like I did enough. The last 10 days are like a chance for you to push yourself a little bit. And I'm not saying, don't sleep, pull all-nighters, and to each their own. If you're capable of doing that, may Allah make it easy for you and grant you the highest of rewards. But if all you can do is just throw in some extra dua, or do an extra sunnah prayer, or read an extra surah in the Quran, like do it. You never know. And I think what I put down here was what are some ways that we can maximize our rewards and finish off the month of Ramadan strong? Like what are some ideas that you feel like you're gonna be like, okay, you know what, last 10 days, like this is what I'm gonna focus on?
I don't know, because like right now I feel like time is already like maximized to a point.
What do you mean?
Where like you're working, because I work like an hour and a half away, which was just pretty crazy. Okay.
That is.
But like with the time, like by the time you come back from work, I guess I was gonna say like, oh, I should give up my gym time, but I don't think I'll ever give up my gym time. But maybe like even small things like doing more dhikr throughout the day would definitely help.
Yeah,
like just remembering to do it. Yeah. Maybe listening to more. I already right now, just because I'm going through the Quran, I'm listening to it, or I'm listening and reading it at the same time. But maybe just listening to it throughout the day. Maybe repeating after the listener, especially for the ones I already know. So things you can kind of do, not unconsciously, but like that require that you can do while doing other things, right? Especially if you feel like your time is already maximized, you already have so many things going on, then you have to kind of pivot and start doing things that can be done at the same time, like making dhikr or listening to something that's good for you and trying to repeat after it. So those are kind of two things that I would probably try to implement. Outside of course, like doing more sunnah prayers, and if I have like an extra hour that I find, like I spend that hour instead of like maybe watching my favorite YouTube video, maybe pulling up the book and going and trying to finish up a little bit more of what the goals that I already had to do, right?
Yeah.
So those are the main things there. One thing when you were mentioning earlier of those guys like went to the mosque, I feel like it's a missed opportunity now, but I feel like COVID was like the perfect time for that. because like in COVID, you literally couldn't go anywhere. Sorry guys, I know my throat keeps acting up there, but like you literally couldn't go anywhere, and so and it's not like anyone's calling you to go out somewhere here or there. So those are like the perfect time to just like literally hunker down in the house and just do what they were doing basically.
Yeah.
It's like where else are you gonna go, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't now as you mentioned, I'm like, oh, that was a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah. I mean, I like at the time I remember because one of our cousins was like, okay, like I'll see you in 10 days. I'm like, whoa, where are you going?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna stay. I can't remember, they called it something, but he was like, I'm gonna go do this, and I was like, never heard of that before.
Yeah.
So he explained it to me, and I was like, wow, that's so nice. Like, I really, if you're able to do that, like, I don't know, he was a kid at the time, so I think he wasn't in school or something. It was summer break or something like that, but he was able to be there for 10 days.
Yeah.
And I just like that, the option to be able to do that, like, you know, you consider yourself blessed because some of us can barely even like function now.
So you never saw them until like Eid day?
Yeah, because he stayed there.
Really?
Yeah. And then like people, the nice thing about it is the opportunity for reward was like, it was like 360, because obviously like, let's say you went, like you're obviously going to be, you know, rewarded for the actions that you're doing. But then there are volunteers and supporters who cook for them, who bring them food, water, like things for them to break their fast with. And I was like, wow, like that's so
over there it's like a culturally known thing. Like it's,
I mean, I'm sure it happens in like Muslim countries too. I think there's a lot of value in seclusion when you're doing your acts of worship, especially when it comes to, you know, prayer, making dua. Like, I think that when you are truly secluded and it's just you by yourself, and you're praying to Allah, and you're making dua to Allah, like it's a different level of, I don't want to use the word like intimacy, but it's like that type of, I don't know what another word for that is. Yeah. Hopefully you guys are understanding what I mean. But because it's just you, right? Like you're not showing off. Like you can only be I mean, one would hope you can only be sincere in those moments because nobody else is watching. You're not here to impress anyone. Yeah. Like you're here humbling yourself. Oh my God, I keep hitting the mic. I know. I don't know what's. Yeah. And so I think there's a lot of value in doing that. And if you're able to do that, it's such a like valuable time that you have for yourself. I know sometimes, unless you live alone, like you're not really secluded, like you live with family, right? Like whether it's siblings, parents, whoever that's around you. And so you may find it hard to find that seclusion. But even if it's like, go to your room at the end of the night when you're praying Isha, and if you have makeup prayers, do your makeup prayers. If you don't and you want to do sunnah, do your sunnah prayers. Like, and it's just time for you to connect with Allah and just like literally just do your prayers. I think that's important, and that's a really like praiseworthy thing to do, especially in the last 10 nights. I mean, in general you should be praying all your 5 prayers, but like the extra stuff. What else do I have written down? What else can we do? Like you said, increase your dhikr. And I think
because I'm thinking more of like
what's more realistic, not realistic,
but like the people who don't normally even do these extra acts to begin with, like what because a lot of times when they hear about that they feel like it's super overwhelming. So I'm trying to think like these are small, so these are like, smaller things that you can do.
Like I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas because it might be easier for someone to pray, it might be easier for someone to do dhikr, it might be, you know what I mean, like dhikr is one, and that's like Amir said, like it's easy to do it while you're doing something else. The prayer is also important. Increase your dua. And so I actually want to touch on this real quick because I feel like, especially on social media, there's this like increase in the discussion about manifesting and being delusional to get like what you want. Like they're like, some of the girls now are saying online like, oh, just be delusional and things will happen for you. Like have you seen that?
Like ask for like,
no, not even dua wise. What? Like non-Muslims, they're saying like, I'm just delusional. So like if someone's mad at me, I'm like, no, they're not.
Oh.
Like, they're just like that one. Genuinely delusional.
I heard more like delusional in what you ask for.
That too.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to call it delusion. No, be sure in what you're asking for, and be confident that Allah will grant it for you. Part of the dua is that when you're asking for things, you shouldn't hesitate, like, will Allah accept my dua? Will he not? Like, no, the whole point is you have to have faith and trust in Allah that he's going to bless you with what you're asking for. And if you're not blessed with what you're asking for, inshallah, you're blessed with something even better. You know? So I think that it's, if you have that inclination, that inspiration to ask and make dua, it's because Allah wants to give. So, you know?
And I think there was one point made, I forget where I heard it, but it's like a lot of the people, when they ask for something, they only think about how they might like receive it in this world. But like you might ask for something, but it's maybe meant for you in the hereafter, right? So like they think if they don't get it here, though, that my prayers weren't answered, but really maybe whatever you ask for is like waiting for you in the hereafter. You're thinking very like, short term.
Don't limit yourself. Like, think about it this way. You're literally asking your creator, the one who created this world, the heavens and the earth. Like, everything in this world was created by Allah. Like, you are asking the one who can do the most. So why are you limiting yourself in your dua?
Yeah, and he's also the most merciful for a reason. So
yeah, like, I don't want to give, like, I don't want to be like, you want this? Ask for that. Like, but like, whatever it is you're asking for, assuming it's from the khair, of course.
Yeah.
Don't be like making dua that someone dies. Like, don't be doing all that. You know? Don't be wishing harm on your Muslim brothers and sisters. But like, just ask. You know what I mean? Like, it's and when I was thinking about this point, I'm like thinking back to like some of the dua that I made in the past, like, Ya Allah, get me an A on this test. Like, I just want to pass. I'm like, why didn't I ask for the highest grade?
Yeah.
I wanted the top mark in the class. I wanted 105%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why limit ourselves? Like, I feel like we need to shift our perspective when it comes to dua where we're asking for the most. You know what I mean? So if the previously mentioned points are maybe not something that is feasible for you, you can't do them for whatever reason, another way to gain reward in the last 10 days is give charity. Even $1 is going to be greatly rewarded. Yeah. You can donate it to whatever you want, wherever you want. Just donate, and that's going to be a rewardable act for you, especially if it's sadaqatul jariyah. Then it's a reward. It's like the reward that keeps on giving. Yeah. And so let's say you donate $1 towards building a mosque somewhere. Now anyone who enters the mosque, who prays in the mosque, who benefits from the mosque, the rewards that they get is also passed on to you because you helped build the mosque. So think about it that way. Yeah. And if you don't have the funds to donate, then volunteer your time.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yeah. Yeah. I wish, like, of course I can probably still do it, but I did wish, like, in my younger days, if I like volunteered for one of those ones where you go overseas and you like actually help the people.
Like the charities that
yeah, like me, I don't know, with like Islamic Relief or something. Yeah. Just so you can
Islamic Relief. What? They do follow us on Instagram.
Oh, do they? Okay, there you go. Yeah,
maybe I should reach out to them for.
So yeah, like to be able to go across. Maybe inshallah, you know what? I'm thinking short term. Inshallah, I will get that opportunity one day. But yeah, getting to actually see where that money is going and who it's helping would be a big part of it. I feel like the fact that I don't know Arabic might be like.
That shouldn't stop you.
Huh? No, I'm not saying that's going to stop me, but like maybe the people they're looking for to do that.
No, what are you talking about? Not at all. Have you seen the people that they send? They're not all Arabs. They're not all Arabic speaking. Yeah. Like, some of them don't even speak it.
Yeah. Okay. Then you know what? I didn't see the thing. I just say, okay. Yeah. You know what I just say, but like, yeah, that's also something I've wanted to do. Yeah. Why not? Right? Like,
exactly. If you can.
Yeah. Or go to like Palestine and be able to help people there.
Yeah, exactly. And that would be a great one. I mean, it's scary, but
yeah, that's not what's scary about it. If you die, you know, you die a martyr, inshallah.
That is true. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, volunteering in your community or the masjid, like whether it's serving food during iftar time or if there are classes and you want to volunteer to teach the kids or whatever volunteer opportunities that there are. Yeah. Another one is to invite people over for iftar or cook for them and distribute the food. I think, you know, being generous in Islam is such a praiseworthy trait. And even if you can't have people over and you're able to cook or you're able to fund, like you're able to buy the food for people.
Yeah.
That's still a really big action and such a praiseworthy thing. And I think, you know, even buying food for someone might be easier than like cooking and hosting, you know what I mean? Hosting takes a lot of work and all that, but you know, be generous with your guests and whoever it is you're distributing the food to. And then the last one, which you already said, was read Quran.
Oh yeah, reading Quran is like the biggest part of it. I think and reading it with its meaning so you can actually like
understand it.
Yeah, that was a big part of it because it makes it stick more. I don't know how that.
I know what you mean, because I was going through the other day, I was reading Surat al-Falaq, and I was like, oh, that's what it means. No wonder they tell us to read that every day. Like,
I'm going from the other end, so I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's been taking me a while.
That's okay.
Okay, this is bad, but like I just finished like Al Imran, which is like the second one.
That's okay, but listen.
But like I feel okay. Like yeah, you know. I think I was saying to someone's like, but like at least I started it. So even if I don't finish it by the end of this month, like could probably continue. Well, for sure I'll continue with it, right?
Yeah.
Because like the thing is, what my mindset was like, if I have the time to read all these other books, why can't I just finish this like the most important book, right? So for anyone else who's like an avid reader, or a Muslim who's an avid reader, and just anybody who's an avid reader, like. Think about all the time you spent reading all those other books. If you haven't already gone through the whole Quran, I feel like that's your opportunity. Like that's where you can think about it. Like it's just a book that you can go through. And of course, if you have questions, like I mentioned last week, go to a sheikh. But like, that's how I've like kind of convinced myself to just continue with it. Yeah. Outside of the fact that it's good and I'm interested in it and all of that, right?
Yeah. No, I think that. Sorry, I was trying to see what my glasses are a little blurry right now.
See how she has to squint and she already has glasses for the people who are watching?
Okay. Your privilege is showing, Amir.
What?
Your privilege is showing.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
God.
Do you ever, I always do this. Oh yeah, you don't do this because you're already blind. But for all the people who aren't blind, do you ever like get kind of like anxious and you're like, oh shoot, like you think you're losing your eyesight and you just start looking at stuff far away and you start trying to read them just to make sure you're like, oh, what does that say over there? Oh, okay, I can still read it. I'm good.
What?
I do that all the time because I'm always scared that like, maybe I'll get some evil eye because I keep making fun of you for your glasses.
I wouldn't know. May Allah protect you.
I'll like read things like close to me and far from me constantly just to confirm that I can still see.
I mean, I can see.
No, but like, how do you know when you start going blind? Like how would you know? Oh, I'm supposed to be able to read that from that far away.
Well,
right?
Because
Exactly.
No, because like I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We're totally like sidetracked right now, but like just hear me out, okay? Mine started when I was like maybe like 9 or 10, because I didn't realize like, oh, I should be able to see that. Like at school is when I really noticed, and when I was watching TV.
I guess so, because you're around a bunch of other kids who are probably reading off of it, right?
Yeah, and I started like doing this habit of like, there was this girl who used to sit next to me, and she had those like really thick like bottle cap glasses, where it made your eyes look small, and so I'd always be like, can I borrow your glasses? And I would take them and I'd do that and I'd take notes from, like, that's how I would do it. And then at home my parents noticed that I would sit like, here's a TV and here's me.
She's pointing, she's like 2 feet away.
Like I was like glued to and they were like, sit on the couch. I'm like, but I can't see, it's blurry. Like, no, I can't see. And they were like, no, you're just saying that. And I would try to wear my mom's glasses, but my mom's nearsighted.
They're in denial at that point.
So they're like, you can see, stop playing. I'm like, no, I can't. And then when I told them I would take my friend's glasses at school, they were like, all right, you got to go get your eyes checked. And then, And
you were the girl with the bottle cap glasses? Cap glasses?
I never had bottle cap glasses. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
No, there's some times where you put on your glasses and your eyes shrink to like half the size.
No, they don't. They actually don't. Stop.
I've laid.
I make sure. I mean, do my eyes look small?
Huh?
Do my eyes
take them off right now?
They don't look small.
Put it back up. Put it back up.
They look small like this. Stop. You're so mean. No. Do they look small
No,
like this?
when you pull your glasses away from your face and it makes it smaller.
But like this is.
No, there is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You're so, guys. You see, this is like live action bullying right now.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
no, I feel like the people who like also can see, like have 20/20 vision, probably do the same thing. I feel like they'll relate to that.
maybe.
I guess we'll find out. We'll see if someone says that.
Like the only thing sometimes I'll be like, I wonder if I could see now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, still blind. And I just pull my glasses down a little and try to see, but
yeah.
you know.
I feel like you can retrain your eyes. No?
You want to know something funny?
What?
So when I was in Ethiopia 6 years ago,
Yeah.
our uncle, he was like, you really don't need those glasses.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't think you realize how blind I am.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I think you should like just try living life without wearing them.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think you guys realize, because you're not you're not optometrists. Y'all don't realize how blind I am.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally was like, he didn't force me, but he was like very insistent on me not wearing my glasses in the house.
Yeah.
You know how depressing it is to not be able to see anything? Like everything is blurry.
Yeah.
Like just like unfocus your eyes for a sec.
What?
You've never done that before?
Wait.
Like just no, you're focusing right now. He literally just bulged out his eyes. No, like, you know when you just like relax your eyes, like you're not focusing anymore and things get blurry?
Okay, yeah.
That's my vision 24/7.
So you see double?
What?
Well, I'm seeing like double of the mic stand right now because I'm focusing on it. It's really close to me.
No, like you don't know how to adjust the focus in your eyes?
Yeah, I'm adjusting it right now. Like I can barely see this thing. It's like really blurry.
Yeah, like if you look over there.
Okay, but everything just goes double.
Are you making your eyes cross?
I don't know. Am I? What?
The blank look on your face.
We're way too distracted here.
I know.
Okay, let's get back to the episode.
But anyways, he was convinced that I could train my eyes to like, and every day he'd be like, "So can you see better now?" I'm like, "No, give me my glasses back." So you can't. I don't think you could. I don't know if there are any optometrists listening to this. Let us know. Can you retrain your eyes? I don't think it's possible, but
well, like I guess outside of getting like LASIK surgery or whatever. Yeah. Would you ever get LASIK? No?
I'm scared.
Why? You can literally do it while you're awake.
That's the part that's scary. One. And two, if one thing goes wrong, you're blind. You're blind. It's not even like you can't really see. If they F up.
Didn't our parents do it?
No.
No?
Oma did.
Okay, yeah.
But Oma had cataracts. Our grandma had cataract disease. And so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought LASIK was like pretty simple. They literally just take off a layer of your.
My mom did it too.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
But I don't know. I'm scared.
You'll be fine. Just try it.
But also, I feel like glasses have become part of my identity.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever.
You know? I've been wearing them since I was 12. I don't know how many years. 18 years. Damn.
Yeah, you know what? It would be weird without glasses. You keep the glasses. Don't worry. Yeah. I couldn't adjust to the bigger eyes.
What do you mean? My eyes are normal, Amir.
I'm playing.
Guys, are my eyes? I am so blind I can't even see the phone properly. But like, I'm pretty sure my eyes are normal. So
yeah,
don't be a hater.
Yeah, okay? those episodes earlier that were kind of blurry, that was just to give you an insight into what Sada sees.
That is.
You know what? That was all just an experience. It was all a social experiment, guys. It was totally on purpose.
So mean. You know what? On that note, I'm gonna just deal with Amir off camera, so we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry if this part is out of focus. My butt got in front of the camera, but you know what? We're just gonna pray that it's not, because I can't see the viewer from here.
If it is out of focus, it's because Amir made fun of my eyesight, and now you guys have to see the world the way that I do.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you the real experience. No, but you know, we were talking about this off camera, but I think we have someone living in our roof, in our ceiling at least. So like the other day, first I thought my mom was going crazy because like she came up to me. She's like, I hear like scratching or something in our ceiling every morning. She said she's been hearing it multiple times, and she just said something about it. And then I was like, oh, okay, but I couldn't hear it at that time, so I was like, I don't know, I don't want to go up there and like just yet. I want to hear what it is. And because I work from home a few days out of the week, I was just sitting there. And I was on a call and I hear like some scratching, and I thought it was like right next to me. That's how loud the scratching was, right? But then when I looked up and like I got closer to the ceiling, like stood up on something, it was like literally right above me. And it wasn't like
in your room?
In my room. It wasn't like like small scratches, like something, like something tiny. It sounded like something big was up there, like scratching a post, like about to rip the wood apart.
What if it just fell through?
That's what I've been thinking. I'm like, at one point I feel like that this thing is just gonna fall through our ceiling, but all I did was take a stick and I hit it I hit like a couple times and it stopped, and I never heard any sound after that. So then I was like, okay, I gotta investigate, right? So I get on top of the roof, on top of our roof, and I see that one of the covers is missing. So we have, how every roof has like an exhaust, like they have exhaust so like air can filter through, and one of them was ripped open or ripped off, and like the mesh that's covering that cover or that's under that cover was like ripped open on one side. You can see something like ripped through it and like got in. Right. And then I look down and I can see like a bunch of like the insulation from our ceiling that's kind of like just thrown around a bit. So then I was like,
what it is.
Exactly.
Did you see feathers?
I didn't see nothing. I don't know if it's a bird. I don't know what it is. It could be like the chupacabra at this point. I don't know what it is. What? You don't know what a chupacabra is?
No. What is that?
It's like South American folklore of like a monster in the night. Okay, maybe
I wish y'all could see my face. Why would I know that, Amir?
The chupacabra. Doesn't everyone know what a chupacabra is?
No.
It's like a mythical creature or whatever. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
It was like a monster. It could be a monster or whatever. And I don't know. It could be I don't want to say that.
Jinn. Yeah. They're locked up. The big ones are locked up for Ramadan.
Exactly. Maybe they're locked up in my roof. No, that's bad. That's bad. So, what was I talking about?
Then mesh was ripped open.
Oh yeah, the mesh was ripped open. So I was like, you know what? Let me be cool. Let me be like tricky. I took the camera. I had a tripod.
Oh, you did?
Like the stick tripod. I put the camera on there and I like stuck it down the hole with the flash on and like started like twisting around and like taking video of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I was hoping to see like, how animal eyes, they reflect back. I was hoping to see that.
Yeah.
But there was nothing there. So I I pulled it out and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to starve them out. So what I did is I found the cover. It like flew away somewhere. I found the cover, put it back on, like locked it in place. And it requires like pretty good effort to take it off just with the cover there.
Yeah.
So, but just in case, there's a bunch of nails that the roofers left behind from back in the day when they like put on the tiles, whatever. So I took all the rolls of the nails because they used to be part of a nail gun, so they're all like connected in a big roll. So I put like multiple rolls above this thing on top of the cover and like covered the sides of it with the nails. So like if it got inside there, it would have to rip off all those nails basically.
Yeah.
So then, and the reason that I had to like make sure to do this quickly is because the next day was supposed to be like a big storm, a rainstorm.
Oh yes.
So I got it covered, and then the next day I feel like it was good. And then a couple days later, I was like, you know what? Let me double check on this thing, right? Because I thought at that point it was good. Because I checked on it the day before as well. And next thing I know, I'm like, the cover's missing again. And like the nails, it wasn't like just that the nails were like slid off. They were thrown. It looked like whatever got into our roof threw the nails across the whole roof. They were like scattered everywhere. And the cover was missing. So I was like, what am I supposed to do at this point? So I tried to do the same thing. I put the camera down to see if anything's in there and nothing. So at this point I was like, okay, this thing can't get back in. There's no way. I'm going to really starve it out this time. So I literally got duct tape and I put the cover back on and I taped the cover back on there.
Did you check it since you did that?
No. Oh yeah. I've been checking it every day now and it hasn't been moved yet. But then I also took the nails and I put them like under the cover, like sticking out, so that if they try to like, I'm thinking this thing has opposable thumbs at this point. If they tried to stick their hands in there, like it would poke them.
That's so mean.
Hey, we're at war now, okay, Sarah? All rules are thrown out.
What if? I think what happened was the first day that you checked it out.
Yeah.
I think it was hiding inside. So when you covered it, it was probably inside, and then it tried to come out, and that's why the nails look scattered because it poked its way through.
But like I'm looking around where that cover is, there's no like clear post next to it where they can climb up and like push it. And the way that the mesh is on there, like I feel like they have to like jump into the middle. Maybe that's why it was all scattered at the bottom, because they like jumped down or whatever. I don't know what it is yet.
It's probably a raccoon. Because they can climb, right? Like they climb up.
They can climb, but like, I don't know. It maybe it is, but like,
what else would it be?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what is
like birds wouldn't
dexterous enough to like? First off, it would stop, but also like it wouldn't show up on the camera. So now I'm like contemplating if I should just like thug it out, put on a bunch of layers, and go into the ceiling and go into the attic or the roof, or whatever.
Remember the last time you tried to fight a raccoon?
Oh yeah, I posted that too.
I was dying.
I was attacked twice. Okay,
that video. It's funny because like we saw your perspective.
Yeah,
but like Gizman was also filming you from your window.
I completely forgot about that too. Like this was in her vlog. I was like,
why
does this footage sound so familiar?
It was so funny.
Yeah, that was an experience and have. We literally, I think I mentioned this to a bunch of people, but that video when I posted like I re-uploaded like a clip of it. It was like 45 seconds, but literally the next 6 minutes of that video was just us dying of laughter because we couldn't hold in our laughter just from how much we were freaking out about this raccoon being inside of there. Like there's one point the first time I was attacked where the camera like falls down and it's like face up, and you just hear us like wheezing in the background. Like I didn't pick up that camera for like another minute because we were just continuous laughing. And we were doing like spring cleaning, so everything was pulled out. Yeah, they really like just made.
Did you see like poo in there? Up there, I mean?
I can't remember. I think they did some stuff. Yeah, they did. Yeah, exactly.
You saw poo?
Because like we have in our shed, we have like the top layer, which has like some posts, and then we put like the carpets and stuff up there. And initially in the roof of the attic.
Oh no, I'm talking about the roof
of the shed. What?
I'm talking about the roof.
Oh, in here? No, I didn't see anything like that. No. I thought you were talking about the shed.
Like what else would it be?
I don't know.
A squirrel.
Maybe a squirrel. I don't know. It has to be small. I think that's why I think it's smaller, because that hole isn't that big. I'll probably put up a photo of it. It's not that big.
Raccoons can be small too, though.
Yeah, I guess their fur kind of makes them look bigger, but
it's probably squirrels. But then you would see a bunch of their like acorns and stuff. No?
What?
Like their nuts.
What do you mean?
Because they collect them.
I didn't go into the ceiling yet. Yeah, I didn't go in there.
I thought you like looked with the camera properly.
Oh yeah, but with the camera I didn't see much because like first off the flash can only see so far, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I need to open up the covers that are closer to that end and see what's under there.
You're not scared?
Nah, I'll take out whatever it is. It's smaller than me. It has to.
What if
maybe
it bites you? You're gonna have rabies.
Huh? Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm scared of.
Just call an exterminator. I don't think you should risk your life.
Yeah, but the story's better if I do it. You know, exactly. Everybody said that. If you're gonna do it, just film it.
Just set up a tripod with a second camera, and then just like film the whole thing, and then like strap your phone to your chest.
Yeah, just buy. If I bought a GoPro just for this experience,
like a POV footage. Yeah. And you'll hear Amir screaming.
No, I'm gonna put it like on my head because when the first thing that's getting in there is my head, right? That what if like I stuck my head in and something just jumps out at me?
I don't know. I would never.
I would probably do it just for the story.
You're not scared?
Not really. No.
You should wear like.
The only thing I'm scared of is getting a disease. Like if I knew that I couldn't get a disease from it, like if it was a cat, I wouldn't be scared.
Cats can have rabies if they're like a street cat.
I know what cats,
No, Amir. don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
If it's a wild animal, you should be like, just be careful.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out soon. We'll see if I hear any more scratching in the ceiling. Yeah, you know, maybe there's gonna be an update to this in the future, guys.
There might just be a whole vlog about Amir fighting whatever is up there.
Well, it's like I gotta take a nose break. You know, there's a dead cat on my walk now.
What do you mean? It's still
like
there?
Out in the open. Yeah, so like there's the main road, like the main road that I walk on. There's just a cat. I think maybe it got hit by a car and someone moved it to the side. But the body looks fine. Like the head looked fine. Everything looks fine. It's just kind of like sprawled out, like legs out, feet out. I mean, feet out, hands out. Do they have hands or are they all legs?
Uh-huh. They have paws, first of all. They are the legs, but they have paws. They're all legs.
Are they all legs?
Yeah, I guess.
But they use them as hands as well.
Yeah, I don't know, Amir. They're animals. They don't have hands the way that we have hands.
But yeah, so it's just like dead there on the side of the.
How many days has it
sidewalk?
been? They're supposed to like.
I've walked past it at least 2 or 3 times now. Yeah, I legitimately at one point I was like, no, this cat needs a proper burial. I was thinking of like actually getting a bag and picking it up and like taking it to the backyard and like burying it.
No, there's like there are people that come and collect
Yeah, but it's been
roadkill.
there for like a few days now.
I think you have to like call to get them to come.
The thing is that this is on someone's front yard. Like I don't know why they haven't called anyone yet.
That's messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are they just gonna leave a dead cat in front of their house like
I know,
that?
that's a Scarborough thing right there.
Ew.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so recently, I mean, everyone who knows who Subhi Taha is, right?
I don't know.
I feel like at least all Muslims know who he is at this point
Yeah.
because he's always putting out content, especially in regards to like what's going on in Palestine. But he recently started a podcast about called Generic Muslim, and one of the topics I thought was interesting was that the like commercialization of Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we mentioned last week that there's like the I quote unquote appropriation. It's not really appropriation. People are just interested.
Yeah,
like,
people went in. They're like,
yeah,
it's
people
not
went in. Like
appropriation.
if they watched the whole thing, we kind of made that statement saying like, you know, it's more like if it introduced them to Islam. It's like, okay, it can't. That can only be positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but then there's the people who are truly just trying to monetize on Ramadan,
Mm-hmm.
and he mentioned how like a lot of himself and a lot of influencers are being approached by these brands and these companies to do Ramadan focused content to or like promote their Ramadan focused items, but at the same time they're telling them to like try and gentrify it, I guess you could say, like basically try and secularize it. Does that make sense? To secularize something, so basically remove God from it completely.
How?
Yeah, like they're trying to tell him, okay, mention Ramadan, but like mention like the health benefits of it, or like how it makes you a more peaceful person, all those things. But when you start going into mentioning God and like why we do Ramadan and who the prophets and all that stuff, it's like, you know, try and miss us with that. So apparently there are these companies coming out with that. They're not saying it outright, but they're kind of implying like, you know, you might get more opportunities if you just mention the cool things about Ramadan. I mean, not the cool things, but like the more secular things about Ramadan, the benefits that everyone can have from it, and not the religious aspect to it.
That makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you going to remove the religious aspect from a religious holiday?
Exactly.
How does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I feel like all these companies do it for all holidays. Like, think of Christmas. Like, technically, Christmas for Christians is a Christian holiday, no?
Yeah.
But it's been so commercialized at this point that even Muslims believe that they can, of course they can't, but they believe they can celebrate Christmas because of how commercialized it has become.
I get what you mean.
Right? And I feel like that's what is sort of happening with Ramadan, right? Like what we kind of hinted at last year or last episode is that like because it's been so it's kind of leading to being more commercialized just because of the Muslim population is increasing so much that like people who are not Muslim are starting to take part in it as well.
Yeah, and I think also like as people are discovering the quote unquote health benefits of fasting, as we know, like through COVID, through the time of the pandemic, like a lot of people have started to pay more attention to their health. And so anytime you mention anything that like, oh, this will help you lose weight, it'll help you drop your or lower your blood pressure, whatever health concern you have, people are going to be all over it. And so I can see what you mean by them removing the religious aspect of it, but that's so disrespectful. And I feel like if brands really like it's kind of, this is when I would not be for it. Like if you're trying to remove the whole essence of Ramadan just so that you can make a couple extra $100 or $1,000, whatever their amount is that they're paying you, like it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Don't sell your
but do you
soul
think that's just like
when the religion is free. Like, why are you going to do that?
Do you think someone could make the point where they're like, okay, maybe you won't mention that, but like we mentioned last week, maybe it could be a door opening or like introducing people to.
Well, I think brands are starting to get smart because in the last couple of years, as you may have seen, whether it's clothing, makeup, whatever companies that are out there, you know, the social media marketing is huge right now, right?
Yeah.
And then with that comes inclusivity and the pressure to be inclusive. First, it started off with like skin tones and makeup.
Yeah.
Then it started off with like being inclusive of different body types if it was clothing. Then it's like being inclusive of hijabis and Muslim people and the marginalized communities.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to include a Muslim person in your campaign, that means that, it's Ramadan, and they're realizing now like how big of a deal it is for Muslims whenever Ramadan comes around. Like the fact that in London that main street was decorated with the decorations and stuff. I think they're realizing now, like, this is a great opportunity for us. We're going to get the Muslim market. And we're being inclusive, so that's two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So can you really fault them for that then? If they're just trying, if
you think about it from a business mindset, business is business. This is our marketing. But I'm not thinking about it. This isn't a business to me. To me, it's my religion.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about that.
So that's the con of it. So let's like say what the pros might be to that.
The pros would be,
I feel like we should always be balanced in like how we approach these things.
Yeah, and the pro is that, when we were growing up, we never saw anything like you couldn't even get Ramadan Mubarak signs. And I think now that the fact that decorations are so easily accessible, and I know some people feel a type of way with those that decide to decorate for Ramadan, but think of it this way. We live in a time where the leftist ideologies are being so shoved down our throats right now that for those of us that have kids or siblings that are still in school, if you want your child to be raised and uphold your the Islamic values, you have to, like, the way that you go about it, you can't just say like, oh yeah, we're Muslim. Like, kids are kids, and the way that, if the idea of like Christian or Catholic holidays are so mainstream, especially in the West. We're not in a Muslim country where Ramadan is like openly celebrated. Well, inshallah, we're moving towards that now. But like when we were growing up, did you ever? We never really.
It's never been this accepted.
Yeah, and so like I don't see a problem with, decorating because you're trying to encourage your children. Like we grew up. I don't know about you, but like I grew up feeling like not necessarily left out, but like, kids would always come back from Christmas break and they have all these new toys or whatever, new gifts. And I'm just like, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't do anything, And so I'm just thinking back to like, if I was a kid and if we had decorated the house at the time, like, I think I wouldn't even feel like I'm missing out because I have my own holiday.
Yeah. So maybe the commercialization of it, or like the more can combat Islamophobia. Because since it kind of opens, not opens, but like it makes more people aware of what Islam is. Yeah.
Ignorance is usually where the fear comes from.
Yeah. And Ramadan is like the best representation of that, because most of the time, like, a lot of Muslims are about more peaceful. We're normally peaceful to begin with, but like we're all trying to like, make sure we're not
trying to impact our rewardability.
Yeah, we're not trying to impact our rewardability, so we're a lot more forgiving and peaceful than some people normally might be. Yeah. So that kind of also helps with combating Islamophobia, and then like when they hear about it and they see it in the streets, it'll become more normalized. Yeah. So hopefully all the residual like hate that came from things like 9/11 and the terrorist attacks that were going on in like Paris and London will slowly start to like wash away as it's become more normalized.
I mean, I don't know about Paris, to be honest.
Yeah, Paris. But the ironic thing is that Paris has like a large Muslim population.
That's why none of that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like their strong dislike for Islam, it genuinely doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So, but that's also the other issue that's going on in the world, where like this radicalization of like a lot of white people, essentially, of all types, of all ethnicities. Yeah, white people have ethnicities, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so
come on now.
That's a racist statement right there.
That is.
Yeah. But that's a whole other issue that's been going on recently. But hopefully, this can kind of become, since it is, if they are going to commercialize it and try and make some money off of us, at least we can benefit from the fact that it's going to combat things that we've been dealing with for the past 20 years, like Islamophobia. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And then, it'll open the doors to people learning about Islam, and then maybe we'll get more people to come in about it, right? We just have to avoid, we have to be more, not stringent, but like whenever they try and make statements like that or try and convince influencers to take away the part of it where we're mentioning like Allah and the messengers and the religious aspect of it, that we kind of push back a little bit more on that. Because I feel like the fact that maybe Christians didn't push back on that is why Christmas is so like secular now.
Yeah, and you know what's weird is not weird, but I kind of see this happening in like future years where because you know now there are like, and there are a couple of companies who do like Eid gifts, for example. So that's, I feel like, slowly gonna start to, like, this year I saw people posting about like making Ramadan trees, like where it's like in the shape of a crescent and then they like decorate it, and I was like
because we also have to like kind of avoid trying to copy
like be mindful of
what
trying to
other,
imitate the non-Muslims,
the other non-Muslim traditions, because that's also like can be taken too far, right?
Like just because your tree is shaped like a crescent and star, I don't know how I feel about that. Like I don't know, I'm not a religious scholar to really say my opinion. I just thought it was interesting. Like I've never seen that before, and I was like, okay,
at that point you're treading on like really rough waters or whatever they call it, like
thin ice.
You're
on thin ice, bro.
Did you see that
TikTok?
Wait, which?
That guy, he's like, I don't know why what people try to use like African American vernacular when they have the hardest sayings ever.
What, you're on thin ice is a hard saying?
He like made a list, and I was crying because I'm like, oh my god, I used to say all these things.
I need to find this. I'll
send it. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you. You probably just didn't look at it. That's fine.
I'll look at it later, okay?
But yeah, so you are for it then?
Yeah. Wait, what exactly am I for again?
You are for, like, you support the commercialization of Ramadan.
Like, sort of. Yeah. Like I feel like the pros can outweigh the cons in some way.
In what way?
I'm going to make that statement. I'm going to say like the commercialization, I feel like there are more pros to it than there are cons. But it can be taken too far and we have to be aware of that and push back when needed. Yeah,
the minute you remove the religious aspect from a religious holiday, you've lost yourself, bro. Yeah.
So when we make that clear that we will continue to mention those things, and if they choose not to work with us, and sure, they're not going to work with us, but that's how you kind of set your boundaries. And I hope that a lot of other Muslim influencers will set those boundaries, so they kind of set a precedence. Yeah, and another thing, that can probably help combat Islamophobia, I mentioned this as well, is that like we got to normalize saying Muslim statements in public. Like in work environments everywhere.
I just have to say that part of the Toronto slang is saying wallahi, which is I swear by Allah.
Yeah.
Like people who aren't even Muslim, they're out here.
Yeah, but they be going crazy with saying wallahi. Yeah. Like they be saying it for like stuff they clearly are lying about, right?
Yeah, like just some sisterly advice. And reminding myself first always, but if you are lying and then you tell people that you're swearing by God, like you're in the name of, like you're swearing, like you are so certain, don't be doing that.
Yeah, very highly unrecommended.
Yeah, don't.
But
don't
like
be doing that.
The better things to normalize, I feel like, because like we always say like bless you, which is like I feel like it's a very like Christian statement. I don't know, or like
you can say God bless you, like
but like
this is the direct translation of like barakallahu fiki, right?
Yeah, but like in the office we gotta start saying inshallah more, or alhamdulillah,
Yeah, I told you I taught my coworkers.
Do you actually say that?
Yeah, they know about inshallah. They know about mashallah.
Yeah,
because they see my Instagram post and they're like, what is that? What is mashallah?
But do you ever say that in the office?
I've said, like, sometimes I'll say like, oh yeah, that, like if I'm saying like alhamdulillah, I'll say it in English, or even inshallah, like I've said God willing before. But they also like they know the Arabic words as well, so sometimes I say it.
Okay,
like, yeah, inshallah, like I'll be there.
So yeah, I feel like that's a small way you can start to like normalize Islam.
They also know haram and halal.
There you go. They always be saying that too, right?
Yeah, they
It's
love.
like, is that haram? Is that halal?
My one coworker, he'll
Yeah.
be like, "Is it haram for you to eat right now?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm
See?
fasting, so I can't eat."
Exactly. So I feel like a lot of coworkers would be open to it as well, right?
Yeah, you know what it is? I think that
It's like
because-
Muslim code switching.
yeah, and I feel like that sometimes, like in my like earlier parts of my career, I always felt like when I'm at work, like I can't incorporate like all of like who I am, like the religious side of me.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like, never mind. Anyways, not important point.
Yeah.
But like I always felt like I was code switching.
Yeah.
Like I would come into work and normally like part of my vocabulary is to include inshallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah, etc.
Yeah.
Even saying salam.
Yeah.
But like at work, I'm just like, oh yeah, hey, oh yeah, we'll do this tomorrow, and I'll be like, yeah, we'll see you.
Like, just throw in a little bit, inshallah.
Yeah, and so like, you know, I always felt like I wasn't like, I was code switching.
Yeah.
And then, you know, one day, I think it was last year, I went out to lunch with two of my like best friends at work, and we kind of just like had an honest conversation. Like they asked me about my hijab.
Yeah.
They asked me about like what Islam is, and it was such a like, it was such a nice conversation. Like they both said, you know, please don't take offense to us asking. Like we just want to know. Like we've never been that close to a Muslim person before, and like now that we're friends, like can we just ask you? I was like, yeah, of course you can. Like whatever you want to know, like let me know. And it was such a nice like conversation to have with them, and we left that, and they were like, honestly, thank you so much for this. Like, we really appreciate all of the insight that you gave us.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh,
what?
My phone just fell. Like, I don't even know.
But, we'll get it later.
Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, no problem. Like, if you have any questions, like, let me know. And they ask me all the time, and they're so like careful because they don't want to offend me. So they're always like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to offend you. I just want to know, like, why do you do this or why do you do that? Like the other day, I have a salatiras, prayer clothes at work. I keep at my desk, and I was like, hey guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then one of my coworkers was like, oh, are you gonna like go rest because you're fasting? I was like, no, I'm actually gonna go pray. And they're like, oh, what's the blanket for? I'm like, oh no, it's my prayer clothes. Yeah. They're like, prayer clothes? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll explain when I come back. And so I explained, like, you know, you have to cover up when you pray. Not that I wasn't already fully dressed, but like you know, you take the extra precaution to like fully, you know, like if I'm wearing pants at work, like I'm gonna wear a long dress, right? So I was explaining that, and he was like, wow, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, now you know. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, did you ever listen to that Digital Sisterhood episode where they were talking about like normalizing, they were sort of talking about like normalizing Islam in the workplace, but like also normalizing like wearing is it the jilbab, that one in the workplace, because there are some girls who wear it 24/7, like, and they're working in environments like corporate environments like downtown while wearing the full jilbab. And they're talking about like their experience. So maybe if I find that episode, I can throw it up here.
I think was it the Jilbab Chronicles? Maybe
probably, I'm not sure, but they had a few episodes where they're just talking about like normalizing it.
That episode, I really like those.
Yeah,
ones. There's like it's 2 parts, right? I think it's 2 parts.
I think it was multiple episodes for sure.
Yeah.
So that was also a cool thing. I think that people should check out.
Yeah, I mean, like,
if they're gonna be talking about this,
when I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, you still look very presentable when you wear abaya, jilbab, whatever you want to wear. Like, why are you just confining, or why are you limiting the business attire to just a suit? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, maybe you could throw a blazer on top of your jilbab, on top of your abaya. But like, even when I'm thinking about it, like, you know, in Muslim countries, like the Arab countries specifically, where they wear the jalabiya for the man. Yeah,
for them that's like formal wear.
Yeah, but it looks nice. Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of Muslims, I don't know if this is the case for you, because I feel like if you're in a Muslim country, like, would you start to wear like the white thobe, or would you just continue? I feel like you would just continue to wear your normal clothes, right?
I'd probably continue to wear my normal clothes just because like culturally that's how I grew up. But honestly, eventually I might, You know what? No, if everyone else is like wearing that, because it's so much more convenient.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, especially if it's a hot country.
Exactly.
It's thinner.
Well, that's the reason a lot of them wear it, because it's so hot.
Yeah.
You just have to wear that one layer. You have like some thin layers under, and you're good.
And same thing with an abaya. Like that's why, like for me, like I love going to like Muslim countries because I can live out my abaya girl dreams. And I told you guys for Ramadan that I was gonna. Today I'm wearing a dress. It doesn't really count, but I mean, I guess it does.
But what we're trying to combat now, or like trying to normalize
it here,
is normalize it here.
Yeah.
I know we'll get pushback, but like, you know, it takes time.
I don't know. I've never actually tried to like wear an abaya to work. Like I have those open ones, and I'm like, what if
I challenge,
like,
abaya challenge?
Abaya challenge? Should I try it, guys? Let me know.
Yeah, they wear an abaya and like vlog your experience going.
They'll just be like, wow, that's such a pretty kimono.
What? I trust that your friends are a little bit more cultured than that, Sarah. Okay. Nah.
I mean, it depends. Like, you know, the open ones.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just wearing like normal clothes under and I just throw one on top.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you gotta take baby steps towards that.
Like come in with a cardigan one day and then just
I do that all the time though.
With a bigger cardigan, and then that cardigan turns into like the one that you just mentioned, the one that goes over.
A kimono or like
not
a duster?
Kimono. Like the one that you like the jilbab, but like it's open. I don't know what you call that.
An abaya?
An abaya. Sorry. Is it abaya the one that's open?
Abaya is just like a long
but like there's one that's like open. It's almost like a jacket, but like it's open in the middle.
Yeah, it's like an open abaya.
Okay, an open abaya, yeah. And then when they come with the closed one.
Yeah, I mean, I've worn this dress to work before, and this is
close enough.
Yeah, and I've worn I have long cardigans that go basically to my ankles. But it's like
I wonder if like any of the listeners actually do that, where they just go to work with a full. But I guess if they live in a Muslim country, but like if you live
here
in a Western country,
would you ever go to work wearing like a qalansua?
A qalansua? Maybe if I like normally wore qalansuas. I just don't wear hats because I feel like it messes with hair a little bit for me. So I kind of am scared to wear a hat.
You know, it's a good business opportunity.
What?
Silk lined qalansuas, or sorry, satin for men. Satin lined qalansuas.
Will that help?
Yeah, it's not going to be as harsh and tug on your hair follicles. Yo.
I feel like that will slide off your head so quick.
No?
Well, doesn't satin like it'll make it super slippery?
Not necessarily. Like you wouldn't do it like the entire way. Maybe you'd have like just the edge normal fabric. Like there are bonnets, there are hijab underpieces. Yeah. There are hoodies even that are silk lined.
Yeah. But I have like not a phobia, but like I just don't like putting anything on top of my head.
Guys,
you know
Amir is convinced that he still has his hair because he doesn't wear hats.
Yeah, I don't wear any. Even on like Eid day, no matter what day it is, I still won't wear a qalantua. I'll wear one for 5 minutes until people see me with it, and then I take it off.
Why are you like this?
Because I just don't. I don't want to mess with the hair, man.
I don't think it's gonna mess with the hair. There are a lot of people that have
every guy I know who wore hats, their hairline, slowly started to go because it wasn't getting the air. Okay.
What do you mean? They all have holes in them.
Huh? No, it wasn't. It was like being covered. I feel like because I'm getting the sun on my head and like I'm getting all the nutrients coming in through the top of my head. That's why. This is all pseudoscience. This is not really. That's not proven.
I mean, I'm just saying. If you see in the next like 6 months to 12 months, satin lined qalansuas, you heard it here first. Okay?
Just Google it now. It's like, oh shoot, it already exists.
I don't know if it exists. I've never seen it before.
We'll have to check that. But yeah, we should probably end the podcast here. We're kind of just like going off there a little bit. I know. Just drifting away. All People are like, okay, guys, I think we know where this is going.
I know. We have reached the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Sorry, I cut you off there. See how like right now, my nose is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm not covered. What do you call it?
Congested. Your eyes are even opened up now.
Yeah. There's literally a progression of this whole episode of me just going from completely stuffed to now I'm perfectly fine.
And I feel like when you edit this back, you'll see our volumes are so loud right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
See, we're slowly waking up.
Compared to the beginning of the episode. But it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Look out for the giveaway post. I'm going to upload the giveaway post on Instagram the same day that this video is going live. So Thursday, the day that you're watching this, go over to our Instagram, Cousin Connection Pod. You'll see all the rules for the giveaway. It'll also be in the description box below. We love you guys and enjoy the last 10 days of Ramadan. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.